So, do rising insurance costs have you down?
What is with you? Cheer up. Good thing we got guests.
Hello everybody, my name is Barry Horvath and this is Moving Forward TV with your local market update.
And I am Dylan Gaston. Thank you for joining us today. We have guests. We love guest day.
Thank goodness.
Because we don't have to talk as much.
Yeah, because today's a downer day.
No, it's not. Yeah. It's an exciting update.
It's just not a good day to live.
So today we are talking about the rising insurance costs that are out there. We're all getting hammered on that. So we have with us, you want to introduce people?
Sure, I'll let you know who's here.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so we got Snoop Dogg. His real name is Jay Smith. But that's his it's really Jay Smith.
I'm the Florida Snoop Dogg.
Yes, that's it.
There
That's it. Yeah. You really lightened up too, I noticed too. Anyway, but that's
Did you see Angel? That was classic. I know.
she's like, did you really say that?
Right now, people are rewinding just to watch that.
So if you really want to see, stick around if you want to see Angel facial expressions as we carry on. No, but we have Jay Smith here from Snoop Dogg Inspections. And we also have the lovely Angel Cook, the former Queen of Chasco.
Not former yet, Barry.
I know.
Listen,
you're like out,
out the door already.
Just a minute. You don't know this, but we run a week behind on our shows. So
Yeah, but we still got a little bit of time.
We do.
you'll have what? 2 more? When is
March 9th.
March 9th?
Yes.
So-
Okay,
so
we have the Queen with us. Sorry, Angel Cook from Leaders Insurance. Sorry, it's a time lapse interval. Anyway, so they're on here and they're going to help us out and tell us what we can do about these downer rising insurance costs and maybe some tips that'll help you. So, and I know Dylan wrote the whole show and has all the questions. So, I'm going to go.
I have one line on my paper. We're pros. We've got this. Don't worry about a thing.
So I'm going to go on break. So I'll see you later.
So some of the things that we as in the mortgage profession, one of the first things when we're talking to clients who are going to buy a house and they've got that contract, you as the real estate professional know, and you are guiding them as well to get a home inspection. I, on the mortgage side, are guiding them to get insurance. The two tie really well together. We all know that there's things that can make their insurance get lowered. Now, if we have somebody we're dealing with a really tight debt ratio, that never happens.
Well, you know what's so funny is people talk about what's my house payment going to be.
Yeah.
Well, when they first enter into looking at a home, they don't consider all of the costs. They're like, what's my mortgage rate? What's my mortgage rate? Like, that's the most important thing. As you
Instead
and I
of what's my payment, what's my payment?
What's my monthly payment? Because, how much are you putting down? What's the monthly MI? What are the taxes?
Right.
And of course, what is the HOA? And what is the insurance?
Right.
And you can control how much that insurance cost is. And people just think, oh, it's a fixed rate. No, it's not. There's a lot of things you can do to help, fix that to make it affordable for you and get the proper coverage, and with the proper home inspector and insurance professional, you can get the payment that's right for you. And the lowest cost, I always say, is not always the best cost. And I think Angel's over there going,
and I'm just going to say, perfect segue to bring Angel in on that. So Angel, I tell people, you know what, you need to talk to an insurance person because you can have costs anywhere from $600 a year to $3,000 a year, right?
That's right.
What are some of the factors that
well, of course, credit is a factor, but the largest factor is the home itself. So I always tell people, especially working with mortgage brokers, you all are very good, and I try to get any mortgage broker that I work with to tell me.
We're the best.
We're lenders, we're not brokers.
We're
Sorry.
the best too. We're the best.
You are the best. Well, and what's great is you really are in it for the client. Your
Absolutely.
goal is to make sure that they get their dream home and make sure that they can afford it.
Right.
So you try to set them up for success. So when I get a request from one of you all at your firm, they tell me right away, it's tight.
Right.
We need to get the best of the best. And so the very first thing that I always do, what do? Do you have the inspections?
Yes.
Because that's key. I am an insurance broker. I have a lot of different companies. I have a lot of different avenues. I need to know right away where is the best place for them. Inspections tell a lot. So if it's an older home, having a 4-point inspection right away and making sure that it's going to pass, that is key. There are companies that I can go to if it does not pass a 4-point, but man, is that you're gonna pay. And then if it's a tight debt ratio, they're not gonna be able to afford it. And then of course the wind mitigation for the roof. Those are your biggest things. It can change a premium from $3,000, honest to gosh, down to $1,500, $1,200 with a wind mitigation.
Wow.
The 4-point inspection never gets you discounts. That gets you to qualify for an insurance company. That is simply qualifying factors. The wind mitigation is where your discounts are gonna come from if it's eligible.
And tell them again, when do they need a 4-point and when do they not need a 4-point?
Typically, a 4-point inspection is going to be 30 years old or older for the home. I have some companies that will go 40 before you need one, but the general range is 30 just to be safe. Anyway, if you're going to buy a home that's 30 years old or older, you're going to want one anyways, right? So for your own peace of mind. So I typically say 30 years old. Don't wait until I quote it and find a company to not get one. If you have a house between 30 and 40 years old, you're going to want one anyways.
So I want to bring up a point to our viewers that we don't need a home inspection
Right.
for the lending process on most programs. So,
But we highly
and just-
recommend them.
And just based on what Angel said, if we're going to go from 3,000 to 1,500, obviously it's worth the $25 inspection fee that Snoop Dogg
Well,
is going to charge. You're really
Remember,
low, right?
that's the wind mitigation.
No, the few $100s that
That's
you'll
right.
spend.
Well worth it.
Well,
just kidding.
insurance
I want
reports
people
are
to
very
call
low. I mean, insurance reports are anywhere from $75 to $150 for all your insurance reports.
So it's very affordable to add that on to maybe save $1,500 while you're doing a home inspection anyway. Am I correct there?
Exactly. It doesn't take us that much longer to do that part of the report. Wind mitigation, it is mostly about the roof and partially about the windows and doors in the home. So there's a couple different factors. There's literally sections to that report. And that's a state form. That's not something we just kind of make up along the way. It's an actual state form that we fill out for wind mitigation.
So what do you look for when you're out, Jay, in the inspections to maybe help the borrower benefit? So when they go to Angel, they're going to get maybe you probably know what's going to help the borrower get the best quote.
First and foremost, a good roof that's in good shape, that's newer, and it was also permitted when it was put on. That would be the first and foremost item that you're going to take a look at. Getting a permit is huge. I mean, if you're going to do a roof on your house, hire a professional. You can do it yourself. I mean, there's ways to get your own permits, but it has to be a permit. You don't want to just go ahead and throw your roof on the weekend.
Does it, while we're on roofs here, does it make a difference if they just re-roofed over the existing roof? Or if
Absolutely.
they did the right thing and tore it off?
I would tear it up because you're usually re-nailing your plywood down to the structure of the home.
But what if they didn't?
If they didn't, you're going to lose some discounts.
You are.
I mean, there's
okay.
actually some
so
discounts.
that goes into your report, and that makes a
And
difference
insurance
on your
companies
insurance.
don't like the re-roofing
Okay.
over.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, when you roof over top of an old roof, you're actually reducing the life of even the new roof.
Wow. You know what? We're going to come up with great other ways to save money right after we go to break. We'll be back right after this. Okay, we're back, everybody. We've got Jay Smith with Snoop Inspections and the lovely Angel Cook from Leaders Insurance. And thanks,
Our queen.
Yeah, thanks for being on our
We love
show
our
today,
queen.
by the way. I don't think I thanked you earlier,
Yes.
and supplying our viewers with great information. I mean, we're in one of the hottest housing markets that we've been in a long time. I just read a report this morning that said we are at the lowest inventory right now since 1999.
Wow.
So
Incredible.
And I think our realtor partners already know that, huh?
yeah, they do know that,
Yeah.
but you know, and it's so funny, you know, people are like out house shopping looking for a deal.
I know.
Probably not a good time.
know.
It's a good time to buy because rates are still low.
Right.
And prices, relatively to the rest of the country, we're still low here in Florida. The cost of living,
and if you want to sell, it's a great time to sell.
absolutely. And Jay was saying, how could you be down when you live here with this weather? You know,
Oh, I love the sunny
it?
Florida
Isn't it?
weather. Been here 11 years now.
you gotta love it. You know,
Yeah.
we live in a
Absolutely.
great place, so it's a great time. But you know what? Everybody wants to save money
Yeah.
every month. So let's talk about the inspections and how they tie in.
And when it comes to your
more.
mortgage, one of the best places to save money, we can't do anything about the taxes. We can't do anything about, you know, how much money you're borrowing. If you put down, if you only have so much to put down, it is what it is. But where we can sometimes save some money is in the insurance cost, which is a big part of the payment. So that's why Angel's here to tell us how we can save.
Yeah, and insurance costs are going up, and just like
They are.
mortgage rates are going up. You know, I qualified people a few weeks ago. They qualify for less now than they did a few weeks ago, and they don't understand why.
Because the rates went up.
Rates went up.
Same thing with insurance. You're not going to qualify for as much if the insurance on the house is high. So one of
Yeah.
the first things we ask our clients to do is to contact an insurance person, get some quotes, talk to, and I'd rather have them talk right to you, right? You know,
Yes, it is
and
always better.
because you have certain questions and things that you need to know to get them the best rates that
Right.
they can. So let's talk about how the home inspections and the things that can benefit them from the home inspection.
Well, home inspectors are out there really to give the insurance companies the information they need. The 4 points going to give them information about your roof. These are the 4 points: your roof, your heating and air conditioning, your plumbing and electrical.
Those
And
are the 4 points?
That's
Those
the
are the
4
4
points.
points.
That's
Yeah.
Good to
literally
know.
the 4 points.
I bet you,
You
how
know?
many people didn't know that?
Plenty. I mean, I have people call up, I need one of them 3-point reports or 5-point reports. No, you need the 4-point report. That's what we'll be doing on your home. And of course, you know, something that's been a stickler in Florida for many, many years is the roof. The roof has always been something we really have to look at, make sure there's not leaks, make sure there's life in it, that it's going to continue to help you on that house for the next couple of years. But they're getting tighter on things like the electrical, the plumbing. They're all tightening up and wanting to know more and more information. Electrical panels, there's certain panels that insurance companies don't like that really need to be replaced. I would highly recommend taking those panels out, putting a new one in. And a panel typical life is, you're talking about 40 years. Whether it's a bad panel or not, once you get around 40 years old, you really want to look at replacing the panel with a new panel at that time. But there's things we're looking at in the panel. Have they added circuits to the home and actually put 2 circuits into 1 breaker? That's a bad thing to do. It has to be repaired before it can be insured. If you've, you know, gentleman has lived in the house for many years, sometimes they'll add a few more outlets in the garage, and it's not quite up to the current codes.
Barry, have you done that?
Are you my insurance agent?
I don't want to know if you did that, Barry.
Jay, you said you wouldn't disclose that, especially
Things
now
happen.
all over social media. Oh my gosh. All right, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's one of the things to think about. And insurance companies like to see that you're maintaining the home and improving it on a regular basis. Whether it's plumbing things, maybe you've redone the kitchen. You know what? If you've redone the kitchen, that's one of the last plumbing upgrades you've done to the house, because you have done some things to the drains and the lines going to the kitchen sink. That's a change in the home. And that means that you're keeping up with the house, and that's what they like to see.
So on the 4-point everything, but that plumbing, updating your plumbing doesn't necessarily get you credits for.
Well, and very important to say, no matter what that 4-point says, no matter how much you've remodeled, because I will tell you, I get that all the time. They'll say, oh, the 4-point's going to be no problem. Everything's been remodeled. Well, that's wonderful, but the 4-point only is a qualification for the insurance companies. So when I
So
get a
it
4-point,
meets the standards.
that's right. I just need to know it's in good condition, and all those 4 points have passed. They've
Okay.
all been updated. It gets no discounts. There are no discounts. But what people do not seem to link together is it does make them eligible for the best available company.
there you go.
So
who have
no,
better
there's no
rates.
discounts if it says the electrical panel's been updated. However, you have secured yourself eligibility into the best of the best companies that are available for that area.
And
That's why you need a 4-point.
yeah, there's
Yes.
things that are coming up like aluminum wiring. Of course, this is older than 30 years. They used it from the mid-60s to the mid-70s. And if it hasn't been updated, there's some issues with aluminum wiring. And if you're selling the house now, you may have insurance today, but now your new buyer is having trouble getting insurance because there hasn't been the updates to that particular wiring.
And adding to that is the same thing with the new requirements for water heater. So that's where the seller and the buyers
Which is, you were saying, the age of the water heater?
The age of the water heater. So the current seller may have insurance and think that everything is fine, and they're not thinking about that. But then Jay comes out, and then guess what? Now the buyer's not eligible for 3 companies because the water heater's over 10 years old or it's over 15 years old.
Now, is that
And they're the
something that-
companies that may have better rates.
That's right.
So is that something that Jay will tell them, that, you know what, this is an older water heater, call your insurance person,
You know,
because you might not qualify for the best
Truly,
rate?
it's up to the inspector. I know that I have some it all depends on their knowledge and how comfortable they feel. Because again, I have 15 different homeowner insurance companies.
Right.
Out of those 15, maybe 7 of them have switched over to the new 4-point inspection that's coming out, and the water heaters are an issue, or the wiring is an issue. So every company is different.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily like to panic sellers or buyers. However, like Jay was saying, it's just better for the seller before they go to sell, or right when it goes on the market, to have an inspector out, know what to expect.
That's a great idea when you're getting ready to sell the house to have the inspection
When you list
done.
the home, you know, you may not want to get the full home inspection, which I actually still recommend, so you can know what you need to do to make the house more saleable. But of course, they're all selling currently. But insurance is the biggest factor.
Right.
Whether it's going to sell quickly or what's going to happen, getting the insurance for the next buyer is the biggest issue, and the 4-point can tell them that.
Wow.
So much to learn.
I know.
I thought we knew everything.
See? And find out we know nothing.
You know, it's so funny.
Why
but
we have them in our life.
yeah, it's good. It's good. This is great information, though. But you know what? I have to tell you.
What?
People come to us. We pre-qualify them, and this is the other side of the spectrum from you all.
The other side of the table.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, I got to spend $450 on appraisal. I got to spend $325 on an inspection. I got to pay for a wind
Another $100
mitigation.
for a wind mid,
I
another
gotta
for
pay for this.
4-point.
Oh, I'm going to spend all this money.
Termite.
But you know what? These people are buying the single largest investment of their life. And wouldn't you rather know and spend a few $100s up front on a $200,000 purchase that this is bad, this is wrong, you're going to have problems with this later, your insurance is going to cost you this because of the way this is? Wouldn't you rather know that up front going in and pay for it over the next 30 years in your mortgage somehow, some way?
Absolutely.
Rather than sit back, you know, with your eyes closed and go, okay, you know, I mean, and people, I get it, you get it, and you all get it.
Well, we all know roofs are expensive. So if you're going out to look at a house that's 16, 17 years old and it has the original roof on it, guess what? That roof is really close.
Yes.
Now you've gone out and spent, you know, a few $100,000, $300,000 on a house, and you got to turn around in a year or two and spend another 10, 12,
10
15,000
grand.
on a roof.
Right.
And are you ready to do that?
So go in with your eyes wide open. We got to take a break. We got more information coming up right after this. We're back.
We're back. I like dead silence. He always says
Maybe
we're
I'm
back.
supposed to say something,
I
Jay.
thought they were going to start miming or something, you know?
We do that. I know. We're pretty funny. We really rehearse our parts every.
Can you tell? We are,
yes,
like, so
very
dead
thorough.
on.
I know. So, but we're back with our guests. We have Jay Smith from Snoop Inspections and Angel Cook from Leaders Insurance. Two great guests. Really can help you out in the home buying process, help you save your money, help you figure out what you're really buying, because we don't know. We just give you the money.
And we
right?
tell you, call an insurance person and call a home inspector.
Yeah,
That's
I
kind of what we
mean,
do. So, hey, here they are. Ask them questions.
And I'm sure there's a lot of great people in the community that care like they do, but it
I
sounds
know.
like these two know what they're doing. So
I know they know. I know they know what they're doing, and they definitely care as well.
Because I've learned something.
So let's.
And I think I'm
I
pretty
did
smart.
too. So let's go right to the real part that can save the money, which is the wind mitigation.
mitigation.
Wind mitigation, everybody's favorite. So we live in
Yes.
Florida. We're a peninsula. we have storms. Hurricane season's around the corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Before you know it.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
so
June 1st.
let me ask you this. Do the insurance rate change as we approach season?
The rate does not change. However, companies start to shut down. They will start closing down zip codes.
Really?
Absolutely. They will start closing down zip codes.
Isn't that called redline? In my business, that's called redlining, and it's illegal.
In insurance business, it's called risk management.
And it's legal, apparently.
It is. It is because they're not non-renewing the people already in the zip codes. They're just, and quite honestly, and I know devil's advocate here, and I do it for a living. However, do you really want to take insurance with a company that is saturated in that area already, and it's a high-risk area?
Yeah.
Then a storm comes through. There's a claim placed, and then they go bankrupt because they can't pay all the claims.
Right.
You have to mitigate your losses.
True.
So you have to say, well, we have 3,500 people already insured in 34652 in Gulf Harbors. We can't take any more coming this high-risk season. So they
makes
have to
sense,
pull
I guess,
back.
yeah.
Every insurance company that's admitted in the state of Florida has to prove to the Department of Insurance that they can pay 100% of the claims of the insured value should there be a catastrophic loss.
Wow.
So they can't take on more during the highest risk season. That's like a fire coming in over in California going, okay, we'll insure your home and the fire's 2 miles away.
Right.
Same, it really is the same thing.
That does make sense. That
Like you
absolutely does make sense.
you want to lower your deductible right after you have an accident.
Right. All right. So let's talk mitigation.
Like
Yes.
getting a home inspection after you close.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, the roof was bad. Ooh,
Yep.
what a
Hey,
great idea.
actually, after the storm, I ran into that.
Did you really?
I'll bet.
Actually, they decided to sell the house, and right after the storm, went up there and looked at it, and there was 40 tabs missing on the roof. It was in Hudson.
See?
Only 40?
So
Now, it could have been
Did you
more.
do a
I'm just
six-point?
giving you a general right there.
You
real
did a
quick.
6-point inspection on that.
That's right.
You know.
Really
and,
was a
and
40
the shame
point.
is the people that bought it just before the storm and changed their mind, put it back up for sale, and didn't realize the roof had been torn up.
You know what? We're still dealing with issues with post-hurricane.
Right.
With tree removal. Yeah, we
Yes,
have one
we
right
are.
now. We're still
Yeah.
trying to close it.
I
so-
was just
Getting
over
the
in
tree
Plant City
removed.
yesterday and seeing tarps on roofs all over the place still.
Yeah.
So they're still trying to catch up.
welcome to Florida.
Yeah, could be worse. We could be in Puerto Rico, right?
Oh, absolutely.
That's a whole
I
nother
know.
show, isn't
Yes.
it?
It sure is.
But,
All right, so let's talk about the wind mitigation then.
Yes.
And what is it that you as the inspector are looking for that you as the insurance person are going to give credits for?
Well, one of the key dates is March 1st of 2002. That's when a lot of codes changed here in all of Florida. It had already changed in South Florida and Miami-Dade. Now they made it statewide. So a house built newer than that is nice, but also a roof that's been installed since that date is also a positive on your insurance.
I'm writing
March
these down.
1st, 2002. So remember that date. When you're
two.
so when you're shopping for a house, you probably know up front, is the insurance going to be lower?
And I will tell you that right there, that magic date, that checks that first box off on a wind mitigation that we want to see, which is the building code update. And so automatically, the minute that Jay checks that box, you're going to get anywhere from $75 to $90 off of your insurance right there.
Wow.
Discount
Just-
number one right
okay.
there, which more than pays for the inspection.
There you
And
go.
you're only on
You're
box
right.
one.
Yep, you're only in section 1.
All right,
The
what
second
else?
section is really when the roof was done. Even if you have a house that's older than 2002, has your roof been installed since then? Have you had
Okay.
a roof done in 2005, 2007? That's your second positive if that's done, but it needs to be permitted. You know, that's number one. If you're
You mean
looking
your neighbor
at
can't help you sling shingles on there and
no, I mean if
slap
they
them down?
They
Nope.
can, but no discount.
no discount, no discount. And that's the thing. And you're talking about a permit that runs $100, $200, and now you're going to save that money in the first year or two right back in your pocket. So why not get the permit for it?
Right.
You know?
And then you were saying about the nails.
Well, the third section is
that?
if you've
Nails. That
I
would
think that's more like staples, but
if you have your older house, the third section of the wind mitigation is how your plywood that's underneath your shingles or whatever roofing material you have is actually attached to the framing of the roof. Nowadays, if it's not up to the current code, they actually re-nail the roof before they put the new covering on. And that's another discount, and it's all a matter of each one of these adds up to a little bit
Wow.
extra off of your insurance.
Wow, that's awesome.
I've heard. I usually tell people something about clips.
That's the fourth section. You hit it right there. And it's a matter of really when your house was built, how it's changed. I don't see that many houses that have been upgraded, but we're going to start seeing that more because there's now companies out there that if you've only got 2 nails in your metal strap that's coming out of the block wall, they can put a 3rd nail in it, and that's a significant discount on your insurance. I can't tell you how much it is, but it's a pretty
Can this be done
discount.
after the fact to save you money?
It can. There's companies that are actually out there now that's what they specialize in.
Now you'll have to redo the wind mitigation to prove that it's on there.
Okay.
But so the nails that Jay's talking about is how long the nails are and how close they are together, how it's attached.
Okay.
And so you want either B or C is your selection. The A choice is your just requirement, you get no discount. B or C are the better nails closer together. And those discounts are anywhere between $50 to $60 off your policy. This is annual price. However, your clips or single wraps where you might have to pay to get that 3rd nail in. However, that's going to be your larger one. You're talking about $100+ just that discount alone.
All right,
Okay.
listen, no more questions.
No,
I know
I
you're
have
just
more questions.
Listen, we'll bring them back on again. The show is over. This is great information, great ways to save homeowners money. No, shh, shh, shh. We got to talk about upcoming events, okay?
All right, I'm going to ask questions after, so if you want to call me and get the answers.
All right, good. So great information out there. All right, let's
Thanks,
talk about
guys.
community events we got going on
Okay.
right now.
What do we have going?
All right, March 18th, go to WPBA.biz. We got the Cornhole Tournament. Sign up now.
That's right.
Okay, go do it Sunday afternoon. It's at Fiddler's Green. Get out there, be a great time. Sign up your team.
That's fun.
Do you have a team yet?
And we have vendor spaces available.
Yes,
do
we
we
do.
still have vendor spaces
Yes,
available?
yes,
Okay.
we do. Not many, but yeah, very inexpensive.
Very inexpensive. So come on out. We have a whole bunch of people come. It's fun.
We
Fiddler's
also
Green and
have,
Mitchell.
there may be a couple seats left on the Lightning bus trip, April 6th.
Great.
So go online, WPBA.biz. And we also want to mention that our producer of the show is running for honorary governor. So support John Gaston in his quest for honorary governor race, and it supports the local chamber, and his charity of choice is Pepin Academy.
Pepin
So some
Academy.
great shows or great options out there to
And
be out
then,
in the
of course,
community.
our queen is
queen.
giving her
March
her-
9th, the new
March
king and queen will be crowned. And then March 13th is the Chasco Bowling Tournament. So
So,
get your
awesome.
team in today.
There you
So
go.
great. I got to tell you, Jay, great information.
Thank you.
Would never hesitate to call you on a question.
We would love to have you back on the show. again.
Anyone can call. I mean, I'll answer any questions for them.
Angel, always a pleasure, and thank you both for being on the show today. Great
Thank you for having
information.
us.
You guys, what a great resource for
know.
our community, for
We
our
gotta do
realtor
this
partners.
again.
Yes, we are. So share us, like us, get us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Tweet me. I'm always ready, even on the show.
He doesn't have it too far from him, that
No,
phone.
within
All
3
right.
feet.
Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Thanks for chiming back in.
We are Today and Every Day.
Moving forward.
We'll see you next week.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.